ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिनि। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। I welcome all the devotees for today's Gita Pravaha session. In the last 4 days, we discussed the first and second chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Today, we'll begin the third chapter of Gita. In the second chapter, Krishna spoke so many things about Sankhya Yoga, which is the knowledge of body and soul. He spoke about Nishkama Karma. He spoke about Sakama Karma. He spoke about Sthita Prajna. And he uses so many terminologies also. Of course, we did not go through the details of every single shloka because these Gita Pravaha sessions are meant to be giving a quick overview. So, in the third chapter, Krishna focuses on Karma Yoga in response to Arjuna's question. Right in the beginning, Arjuna had a question, very important question. He is still stuck up in should I fight or not? Let's see the contents of this chapter. First, Arjuna expresses his confusion. Should I work or should I be detached? Action or renunciation? That was his dilemma. Then Krishna says you can combine action and renunciation. When Arjuna asks, should I work or should I be detached? Krishna says you should work with detachment. You can combine both. That is Karma Yoga. Then Krishna also talks about cycle of sacrifice, having a higher purpose for doing whatever you are doing. Then Krishna says, even if you are detached, still you should work to set a right example for common people. Finally, Krishna talks about lust, the greatest enemy in this world. Total 5 topics. Today we'll discuss uh, up to cycle of sacrifice and little bit about setting right example. Because fourth and fifth sections are very elaborate. So we'll do them tomorrow. First, Arjuna's question. Arjuna uvacha ज्यायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते मता बुद्धिर्जनार्दन तत्किं कर्मणि घोरे मां नियोजयसि केशव व्यामिश्रेणेव वाक्येन बुद्धिं मोहयसीव मे तदेकं वद निश्चित्य येन श्रेयोऽहमाप्नुयात् ज्यायसी चेत् कर्मणस्ते. Krishna, you spoke about karma in the first chapter. Mata buddhirjanardhana, you also spoke about buddhi. But if you feel that buddhi or acting intelligently, doing buddhi yoga is better than engaging in ordinary karmas, kim tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi kesava? Why are you engaging me in this ghora karma? Karma is action, duty, responsibility. Ghora means very fierce work. Why are you engaging me in this ghastly work of fighting in this battle and killing so many people and being violent? If you think buddhi is better, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. Krishna spoke a lot about buddhi. He spoke about buddhi yoga. He spoke about buddhi in the second chapter, right? So if you think being intelligent is better than doing some actions, then why do you engage me in this? And you spoke something about buddhi, Vyavasatmika buddhi, and Sthita Prajna, how Sthita Prajna is always detached, and has no desires. How he responds to material temptations. All that you spoken. So, but I am little confused about all of this. Vyamishreneva vakyana buddhim mohayasiva me. Tad ekam vada nishtitya. Eka means you tell me one thing. Vada, speak. Nischitya, for certainty, means you speak what am I supposed to do. Just focus on one thing. Yena shreyo ham apnuyat, by which I attain shreya, by which I attain auspiciousness. So, in short, Arjuna's question is, should I work or should I be detached? Should I do action or should I take to renunciation? Should I fight or not? Again, same confusion. Arjuna was thinking that I will not fight, I will go and beg. Because Brahmanas are accustomed to beg, sages can beg, but Kshatriyas should not beg. But Arjuna says that I will act more like a Brahmana or a sannyasi than a Kshatriya or Grihastha. So, according to Varna, he is a Kshatriya, but he wants to act like a Brahmana. According to Ashram, he is a Grihastha, but he wants to act like a sannyasi, renunciant. So, but why is he desiring to do like that? Because when you perform an action, there is a reaction. When you perform a material action, there is a material reaction. But if you don't do any material action, there will be no reaction. That's his logic, right? So if I am hungry, I will cook. If I am not hungry, I will not cook. Similarly, if I have a desire to enjoy the kingdom, I will fight and get the kingdom. If I have no desire to enjoy the kingdom, why should I fight and get the kingdom? That's the point, right? He has no desire to enjoy the kingdom or royal opulences. He is so detached. He is so renounced. He can live in forests. He also showed by his example how he can survive in forests. Right? When they were sent on Vanavas, they were living in forests with simple, meager facilities. Pandavas are pure devotees. They are never attached to any royal kingdom. They don't want any royal facilities or name or fame or prestige. They're very happy meditating on Krishna. Right? If I am so detached, if I have no desire to enjoy the kingdom, why should I even fight? That's the point. But ultimately, Krishna says, you don't fight for yourself. I understand you are detached. I understand you are devoted. But you don't fight for yourself. You fight to protect the citizens. You fight to establish a righteous rule. When a king like Yudhishthira Maharaj is sitting on the throne, when a Krishna conscious devotee like Yudhishthira Maharaj is sitting on the throne, then he will ensure that there will be spiritual culture in the kingdom. Right? But if a tyrannic person like Duryodhan is sitting on the throne, he may do some administration because he is a politician. He is aware of politics and Rajaniti, but he's not a Krishna conscious devotee. So, a ruler is not just supposed to administer things in the kingdom. Your ruler is also supposed to guide citizens spiritually. He's an ideal leader. So, ideal leaders don't just take care of the material welfare of people, they also need to take care of spiritual welfare of people. So, a devotee like Yudhishthira Maharaj is supposed to sit on the throne, not like a demoniac person like Duryodhan or Dushasan or anyone like that. So, so emphasis of Krishna in this chapter is, even if you are detached, even if you have no interest in this kingdom or enjoyment, still you should fight, get the kingdom, rule the kingdom in a righteous way, uphold dharma, and also ensure that people follow Krishna consciousness, right? People follow bhakti. Anyways, coming back to the flow of this chapter, Arjuna's question is, should I work or should I not work? If I do some action, there will be material reaction. If I don't do any action, there will not be any material reaction. What's your answer? Krishna says, you should work, you should perform action, but in a detached spirit. Don't be attached to the results. Krishna already gave a glimpse of this karma yoga in the second chapter. We discussed it yesterday, day before yesterday, I think. We discussed karman yevadhikaraste mafaleshu kadachana. You have the adhikar, you have the right and responsibility to do your karma, but you are not entitled for the results. You are not supposed to be attached to enjoying the results. So let's Krishna emphasizes on this activity now also, on this principle now also. Krishna says, Lokesmin vividha nishtham pura prokta maya nagha gnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. In this world, there are two kinds of people, Dvividhanishta. Puraprokta Mayanagha. I already spoke to you, O sinless Arjuna, that there are two kinds of people. Who are they? Number one, Gnana Yogena Sankhyanam. Those who follow the path of Gnana Yoga. What is Gnana Yoga? We have seen, right? trying to connect your consciousness with the Supreme through your gnana, through your knowledge. At that platform, you are not obliged to perform any activity. You are on the gnana platform, you don't need to do karma. You are already on the gnana includes so many things, not just understanding the difference between body and soul. Jnana includes understanding Krishna, understanding spiritual subject matters, understanding the futility of pleasures in this material world, understanding how temporary this material world is, and based on that understanding, based on that knowledge, you are also detached from this world. Anything material in this world cannot give me any sustainable or substantial spiritual pleasure. So let me be detached. So when somebody is very mature in knowledge, spiritual knowledge, they'll naturally be detached from material things. Such gnana yogis, such people who are rooted in their gnana can take sannyas, can take to renunciation, right? So that's why in Bhagavad Gita sometimes this gnana yoga and sannyasa are used interchangeably. Means if you are on the platform of mature spiritual knowledge, on that platform you can take sannyas, you can take to renunciation. But if you are not yet there, if you don't have such advanced mature spiritual knowledge, and if you don't have such great detachment from material pleasures, better do karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Trying to connect with Krishna through your karma, through your prescribed duties. If you're a teacher, teach. Through teaching, you can connect with Krishna. If you're a doctor, treat patients. Through that activity, you can connect with Krishna. So offer the results of all your activities to Krishna. So that is like trying to connect with God through your prescribed activities, through your duties, whatever work you are doing. So everybody, like many people are on this platform. But Gnana Yoga means you try to connect with God through your knowledge, through your renunciation. At that stage, you don't have any obligation to do any work. So that's why Krishna says that two kinds of people. One is Gnana Yogena Sankhyanam, second is Karma Yogena Yogina. So Karma Yogis and Jnana Yogis. The followers of Jnana Yoga who are qualified to take to renunciation, to go and beg, to give up all their activities, give up actions. But second category is Karma Yogis. They are supposed to do their karma and connect with the Lord. Fine. So Jnana includes mature knowledge and renunciation. But karma means you stick to your nature and then work. Right? So two kinds of people. Now, uh, Krishna says in the fourth shloka, what if somebody who is not very knowledgeable, not very realized, who does not have mature understanding of the temporary nature of material world and eternal spiritual nature, if such a person prematurely renounces, what will happen? He cannot maintain that renounced spirit. Like, let me give a simple example. Like prasadam is the easiest thing to understand for many people. So if somebody is in a big feast, they are distributing some fancy items also, like whatever sweets and pizza and some very very fancy items. And you say, I will take only non-spicy khichdi. I'm very detached. I'm very renounced. I have great mature knowledge that everything is Krishna Prasadam only. I don't have to run behind taste of the tongue. So you are detached. So you are taking only non-spicy khichdi. If you are on that platform, you can do it. Great. But while eating non-spicy khichdi, you will see someone else's plate. There is gulab jamun here. There is sandesh here. There is barfi there. There is pizza there. There is idli there. There is hot dosa there. Masala dosa there. I am eating only non-spicy khichdi. Then you go and start taking from others' plates, or you go and take secretly in your room, right? Externally, you are renounced taking only non-spicy khichdi, but internally, secretly, you are having all kinds of feasts, right? That's not correct. Just be honest and then take whatever. If it's bona fide healthy food, you can take it, right? So uh, premature renunciation is not recommended, and on top of it, on the platform of Gnana, there is no action. Means you are so mature in your knowledge, you are focusing on liberation, liberation from all material entanglement. You have no taste to do anything, any work on a material platform, right? But if you are not yet mature like that, If you're not ready for liberation, you don't have great detachment, you don't have great knowledge, then naturally you feel like doing some work. You can't sit, keep quiet, right? So inaction is unnatural. For someone who is active, supposed to be active, inaction is unnatural. Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtatya karma krit कार्यते ह्यवसः कर्म सर्वः प्रकृतिजैर्गुणैः न हि कश्चित् क्षणमपि even for a moment also jatu tishtati akarmakrit. Akarma means not doing any activity. You cannot keep quiet, you cannot keep quiet for a long time. You may see some child doing some lot of mischief. Say, hey, keep quiet. The child may just keep quiet for a while, and after that again the child will start shouting. Similarly, because the child has a nature to be active, to play, to be playful, mm, to have some fun and start talking to people. So they have some active nature. Similarly, Arjuna is a kshatriya. By nature, he is a kshatriya. He has a swabhava or prakriti of fighting. So he should work according to his nature. If it is not within his nature to go sit and study Vedanta, or go and beg from different homes, uh, he should not artificially take to that renunciation. So I understand your nature and understand your responsibility according to that nature and act accordingly instead of trying to imitate someone else. That's the main point of Krishna in this chapter. So inaction is unnatural, work according to your nature. But what if you take to premature renunciation without sufficient purification from material desires, without sufficient knowledge or renunciation? What will happen? See this. कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते. Karmendriyani samyamya. Externally, they will withdraw their working senses, their karmendriyas. They will do some sense control externally. But ya aste manasasmaran, within their mind, they will start meditating. Then indriyarthan vimudhatma, and they keep on meditating on sense objects. And sometimes people will secretly indulge in sense objects also. Externally, they act like a renunciant. They may wear saffron, they may shave their head, or they may grow big beard. They may put all kinds of religious symbols on them. But internally, they are not just meditating on sensual desires, they may sometimes even act on sensual desires also. They may do all kinds of bad things, right? So that is mithyachara. That is a pretender. He's pretending renunciation, but internally he has a lot of material desires. So that is not correct. Instead of doing like that, instead of prematurely renouncing things and uh, thinking of them or acting on them secretly in a forbidden way, better sincerely understand what you need, what is your nature. And you instead of being a sannyasi, just happily get married and perform your duties as an offering to Krishna. That is called karma yoga. So you perform your activities, your regular duties with an intention to offer the results to Krishna, and through your work try to connect with God, with the Lord. That is far better than pretending. Pretending, Prabhupada says, to be a pretender who adopts show bottle spiritualism to cheat the innocent public. Show bottle spiritualism. So Krishna concludes that better do your prescribed duty. Arjuna, if a Kshatriya who has a nature of fighting artificially gives up fighting, gives up kingdom, gives up royal opulences, and goes to the forest and lives like a beggar or a mendicant, he will not survive. Secretly, he desires royal pleasures. He gave up palace. He went to the forest, but he's remembering the palace. Oh, my palace was good. There was AC room there. There are so many servants and maid servants. Renunciant means he does not have servants and maid servants. He has to do everything on his own. His belongings are also limited. His needs are also limited. But for a Kshatriya Grahastha, there's a lot of inclination to enjoy facilities. So, with that in the mind, you cannot just artificially renounce. So, better be honest. But the highest thing is you perform your karma yoga for the sake of the Supreme. This is beautiful shloka, a very important shloka in this entire chapter. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra loko yam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangah samachara. Yajnarthat karmano. Yajna refers to sacrifice. Yajna also refers to the Supreme Lord. The Lord has so many names. One of the names is Yajna. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra means you perform your activities for the satisfaction of Krishna, or perform your activities as a matter of sacrifice, right? Whatever you are doing, do it like a sacrifice. You are sacrificing. You are doing a yajna, or you are trying to please the Lord of yajna. Yajnarthat karmano. Basically, offer your activities to the Lord. Anyatra, if you don't do like that, lokoyam karma bandhanaha. All your karmas will bind you. In short, if we work for our own selfish enjoyment, we will be entangled. If we work to please the Supreme Lord, we will not be entangled. If a soldier kills some enemy in a battle, that is a service to the country, and he will be rewarded and awarded and glorified. That's killing. But if the same soldier comes into the country and kills an innocent citizen, he will not be rewarded, he will be punished. The activity is same. In the first case also he killed, in the second case also he killed. But in the first case he killed as a service to the country. In the second case he killed out of out of his own false ego or emotional outburst or lack of self-control, right? So activity may remain same, but the intent decides whether you will be entangled or not. So you may do your karma, your prescribed duties, but if you have an intention to please the Lord with your prescribed duties, offer the results to the Lord, do it as a service to the Lord, there is no karma bandhana. Otherwise, there is karma bandhana, right? Tadartham karma kaunteya. Therefore, for the sake of pleasing the Lord, you perform your karmas. Mukta sangaha samacharaha. Then you will be relieved from all entanglement. So, yeah, we already discussed it. Now, after these 9 shlokas, Krishna talks about cycle of sacrifice in the next section, 10 to 16. This is very simple. Basically, Krishna says that I have given people this process of yajna. I created human beings, I created the devatas, and I also gave them the process of sacrifice. And when these human beings perform sacrifices to please the devatas will provide all kinds of necessities. Like from sun we get sunlight, from moon we get moonlight, from Indra we get rains, from other devatas we get different other commodities, from Mother Earth we get grains. Like there are so many water bodies here, there is Samudra Devata, there are so many rivers there, they are nourishing us in so many ways. There are presiding deities for all elements of the nature. There is wind god, there is fire god. So you perform some sacrifices in which you worship all these gods, all these devatas, who are basically representatives of the Supreme God, Krishna, who are appointed by the Supreme Lord Krishna, and thus by a mutual cooperation between the human beings and the devatas, there is prosperity in this world. But the problem is, there are some people who will enjoy the gifts of all these gods, but they will not offer them back. Ishtan bhogan hi vo deva dasyante yajna bhavitaha tairdattana pradayibhyo yo bhunte stena evasaha. After receiving so many gifts and natural resources from different gods, different devatas, if you don't offer them back in sacrifice, you are called as stena. Yo bhunte stena evasaha. They are enjoying the resources in this world, but they are not expressing their gratitude to these devatas by performing yajna. Performing yajna basically means expression of your gratitude. You worship. So you get earth, you get grains from earth, but you are not expressing your gratitude to Mother Earth. You are getting rains from Indra, but you are not expressing gratitude to Indra. That is like thief. You take something from somebody, don't even say thank you, and then enjoy for yourself. Then it's called thief. That's what Krishna says here. Stena means thief. Yajnahistashinah santo mucyante sarvakilbishaihi bhunjate te tvagam papam ye pachantyatma karanat. Yajnashistashinah santo means you perform sacrifices and you offer so many ingredients in that sacrifice as naivedyam, as bhoga, as offerings to all these gods and the Supreme God ultimately, then accept it as prasadam. Then muchyante sarva kilbishaihi. then you will be relieved from all kinds of difficulties and sinful reactions. If we enjoy all the products around us uh, without offering them to those people who has given them to us, then we will be entangled. So it's an expression of gratitude. Bhunjate detu agham papam. If you don't offer them and then eat on your own, then it's papa. Then it is sin. Ye pachanti atma karana. They're eating sin only. Agham papam. So in the bhakti context, offer food to Krishna. And and then accept it, because Krishna is the supreme source of all the devatas. Where is it mentioned? Yeah, we are still in third chapter only. You go to the later chapters, seventh chapter, eighth chapter, ninth chapter, tenth chapter, where Krishna says that I am the source of all the devatas. Aham adir hi devana maharshinam cha sarvashaha. I am the adi of all these devas. I have appointed all these devatas in their respective places to take care of their various administrative affairs of this universe. So they are providing all kinds of natural uh, necessities to you. So you just offer them your gratitude. But if you're directly worshipping the Supreme Lord, Vishnu or Krishna, then fine. Then that's fine. You may not worship the Devatas. Krishna talks about Devata worship also in the seventh chapter. But if you're directly worshipping Vishnu, you do not worship the Devatas. However, expression of gratitude is important. We need to offer them to the Lord and then take it. So that whole process is called yajna. Then Krishna says, Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha. Yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajnaha karma samudbhavaha. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi brahmakshara samudbhavam. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yajne pratishthitam. I will explain these two shlokas with this simple picture, flowchart. From the Supreme Lord Krishna, Vedas emanated. Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedantakrit veda vichaham. From the Lord, Vedas emanated. And Vedas prescribe this whole process of sacrifices, yajnas. And by performing the sacrifices, you will get rain clouds. All the rains that we get are results of sacrifices traditionally. Then from the rains, we get grains. And that grains are the source of sustenance for all living beings. And when these living beings offer those grains back to Krishna, then they are following the path of Karma Yoga, or depending on their intent, they are ultimately following the path of Bhakti Yoga. We'll discuss the finer differences between Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga later. Let's focus on Karma Yoga at this moment. Karma Yoga basically is you, according to your nature, your svabhava, you are supposed to perform some karmas, some prescribed duties. And when you do those duties with an intention to connect with God, that is called Karma Yoga. Here your nature is prominent. So this is cycle of sacrifice. So from Krishna, we get Vedas. The Vedas prescribe sacrifices, and by performing sacrifices, we get rain clouds. And when rains come, we get grains, and the grains are the source of sustenance for living beings. And all these living beings are supposed to perform sacrifices and offer them back to Krishna as a matter of gratitude, as an expression of gratitude. So this is Karma Yoga. So in this Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice is Sankirtan Yajna. Fine. Now let's directly go to the next section. Setting a right example. Initially, Krishna spoke the difference between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. We discussed the details of Karma Yoga. Now let's come back to the original initial point that Krishna made. He spoke about Karma Yoga people and Jnana Yoga people. Karma Yogis are those people who perform their prescribed duties to connect with God. They may not be so detached. They have some inclinations. They want to engage those inclinations to connect with God. But Jnana Yoga people are mature. They are detached. They have mature knowledge. They have deep spiritual wisdom. On basis of the deep spiritual wisdom, they are so detached. They are so renounced. And such people need not perform any activity. They don't have any prescribed duties. They don't depend on some external forces for their enjoyment. Clear? Now, Krishna talks about them a little bit here. Yastvatmaratirev syad atmatruptascha manavah atmanyeva cha santushtaha तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृते नार्थो न कृते नेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चित् अर्थ व्यपाश्रयः. Krishna says, Yastu Atmaritirev Syat. Atmarti means one who takes pleasure in one's own self. He doesn't depend on others for his pleasure. Atmatriptasya, self-satisfied. Tripti means satisfaction. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha, santushtaha means he's completely satisfied within himself. All three are more or less same. They have the same intention. Atmarati, Atmatripti, Santushtaha. Basically, he is uh, so satisfied within. He is so knowledgeable that he doesn't depend on any external material sources for his enjoyment. Na tasya karyam na vidyate. Such a person need not perform any activity. Such a person need not fight. Arjuna said, should I take to renunciation or should I take to action? Should I fight or should I be detached? Should I just go out and beg like a Gnana Yogi? But Krishna says, are you on this level, Arjuna? Are you Atmarati? You are self-satisfied? You don't need any material pleasures and all? Uh, then you are qualified for Gnana Yoga. Otherwise, you have to perform Karma Yoga. Right? That's the whole point. Now, next. Next sloka is also somewhat similar. We got the main point. Uh, but here Krishna has another important argument. If Arjuna is qualified for Gnana Yoga, why should he perform Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga involves doing your prescribed duties as a Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, whatever. Gnana Yoga involves renunciation. You don't have to perform any duties, any of your activities, material activities. But if Arjuna is qualified for Gnana Yoga, means he has mature renunciation, mature knowledge, he is completely detached, he will not be like a pretender. Even if he runs away from the kingdom, even if he gives up battle, gives up palace, gives up kingdom, and sits in the forest, he will not get the thoughts of royal opulences. He is actually detached. He is much more qualified than Gnana Yoga. But let's talk about Karma Yoga and Gnana Yoga only. Arjuna is definitely qualified for Gnana Yoga. Who is supposed to follow Gnana Yoga? One who has mature wisdom and knowledge, one who is completely detached, one who will not meditate on material pleasures or sensual pleasures, one who can control their urges, one who naturally, spontaneously, effortlessly can control their urges for sense enjoyment. Such people are qualified for Gnana Yoga, and Arjuna is definitely qualified from that perspective. But why should he fight then? If he is qualified for Gnana Yoga, renunciation, why should he do this action? Krishna says, even if you are qualified for Gnana Yoga, better perform Karma Yoga only. Why, Krishna? Answer is to set a right example for common people. Arjuna, I understand you are detached. You are detached from all sense pleasures. Personally, you don't need any kingdom or royal palace. You can happily go and live in the forest. We understand that. I trust it. But if you give up this fight, if you don't perform this battle, if you don't protect the innocent citizens, if you don't perform your Kshatriya dharma, taking you as an example, common people, they will give up their duties. Other kings also give up their battles. They will take to premature renunciation. Okay, let me give a simple example. There are two kids here. Chaitanya Priya and Nanda Kishore, right? Say, if one child is not studying for the exam, tomorrow there is exam, and this child is not studying for the exam. Why? The child is thorough with all the subjects. Throughout the academic year, the child has studied so nicely, and without any revision, the child can happily write the exam and pass the exam. Right? The child is more mature, good student. But seeing the example of this mature student, wise student, if a duller also doesn't study for the exam, uh, without having the background of being thorough with the subject, if he just gives up studying for the exam, tomorrow he'll fail in the exam, right? You cannot imitate this mature, bright student. So you have to do your studies properly. That's what Krishna is saying. So now Krishna's next point is, Arjuna, you are a bright student. You don't have to study for the exam. Still, you will pass the exam. Still, you should study to set an example for all these dull students. Right? But seeing you not studying for the exam, they will also stop studying and they will fail. You will pass, but they will fail. So Krishna says, set a right example. Tasmadasaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Tasmadasaktaha satatam. You perform your karyam. Karyam karma samachara. You perform your activities, but asaktam, be detached. Be detached from your prescribed, from the results of the activity. So I know you don't want any enjoyment. You don't want this kingdom, but still you dutifully fight, get the kingdom, sit on the throne. You're not attached to the throne. I understand that, but still sit on the throne so that other people will responsibly rule their citizens. You set a good example for common people, right? So even if you are qualified for Jnana Yoga, you perform Karma Yoga to set an example for common people. Fine. You want me to set an example? Is there someone else who has set an example? Krishna, can you give me some examples of those who have set an example? Krishna says, I have personally done it. And Janaka Maharaj has done it. So Krishna not only instructs Arjuna to set an example, he gives his own example to Arjuna. He says, Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim asthita janakadayah lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. Krishna gives his own example and Janaka Maharaj's example also. See, Arjuna, Janaka Maharaj is a very detached, mature devotee. In fact, he's a pure devotee, but still he's performing Karma Yoga. He's doing his activities as a king. He is protecting the citizens. He's living in royal palaces. He's wearing royal clothes, right? So you may not be very much interested in wearing so much jewelry or like wearing nice clothes, makeup, etc. But if somebody has to uh, perform a, character in a drama on the stage, they have to put makeup. They have to wear certain dress. They have to do justice to that role. Right? You say, no, I'll be simple like this only. No, your character requires this kind of attire. You have to wear this makeup. You have to put these ornaments. You have to wear this kind of dress. So you have to do justice to the role. So similarly, when you are acting as a Kshatriya, you are a pure devotee, I know. You are a resident of spiritual world, I know. But when you are acting as a Kshatriya in this drama of this material existence, in this material world, better wear the right dress. Better speak the right dialogues. Better give the right expressions. That's what Krishna is saying. Janaka Maharaj did the same thing. Internally, he is totally attached to Lord Ramachandra, totally attached to Krishna. But externally, Loka Sangrahamevapi. Externally, he has to do the needful as a king. Right? So, and by doing so, people will attain perfection. Like another simple example. The teacher knows ABCD. The kids don't know ABCD. What does the teacher do? The teacher takes the little hand of the child in her own hands and says A, B, C, D. She writes. She utters also so that the child will learn A, B, C, D. So this is A. Otherwise, child will just do drawing. This is child will not identify that alphabet with the sound A or this alphabet with sound B. So the teacher, although knows alphabets, knows words, knows sentences, can write poetry also. Still, the child will come. The teacher will come to the level of the child student and to teach the student ABCD. Teacher will write ABCD, utter ABCD. Similarly, Arjuna, although you are detached, you are devoted, you perform this fight so that common kings will get a right example. I personally get up early in the morning, Krishna says. Krishna also is doing some, karma yoga externally. He has no interest in any karma. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spurha. Namam karmani limpanti means I am not entangled in any material work. Name karma phale spraha. I have zero interest in karma phala, results of my activities. Still, I perform many activities. As a Kshatriya, prince, Krishna was taking care of Dwarka, Mathura. He's killing the enemies like Kamsa, Shalva, Dantavakra, Vidhurata. He's getting up early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta and he's doing some meditation. He's giving charity to people. And he's taking care of his kids nicely. He's taking care of his wives nicely. He's keeping all his 16,108 queens happy in their palaces, overseeing what they need. He's taking care of all the affairs of the kingdom. He's addressing the problems of all men in Dwarka Assembly Hall, Sudharma Assembly Hall. Thus, Krishna is doing so many things to set a good example. And earlier, when he was in Vrindavan, he acted as a Vaishya. And the natural activities of Vaishyas is um, this Krishi Goraksha Vanijyam, means taking care of cows, agriculture, and all that. So, Krishna is taking care of cows as Gopal. When he was in Vrindavan, he acted as Gopal. When he was in Mathura and Dwaraka, he acted as a prince, Kshatriya prince, and did the needful. Right? He went to the school, Sandipani school for 64 days. He was learning 64 arts. Then Krishna says, if I don't go to school, kids also don't go to school. They will say, Krishna never went to school. We will also not go to school. Why should we learn? So Krishna knows everything, but still he went to Sandipani school and he learned. Lord Ramachandra knows everything, but still he learned from Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. Right? So who can teach Ram and Krishna? But they're setting good example. Similarly, Arjuna, you are detached, I understand, but still you should fight so that other Kshatriyas will learn from your example. Then Krishna finally says, Yadyadacharati sreshtah tatta devetaro janah sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate. Sreshtah means prominent people in this society. So whatever Sreshta does, other people, yatara janaha will follow. Yadyad acharati sreshtah tatta devetaro janaha. If this leader does something, other people will follow. Sayat pramanam kurute, whatever example they set, lokas tadanu vartate. Common people will follow that example. So Arjuna, you are a great person. You are a celebrity. In this Aryavarta, you are a great celebrity. You have such great military certificates. You are the best student of your teacher, Dronacharya. You also impressed so many devatas with your prowess. Like Indra was impressed with Arjuna. Shiva was impressed with Arjuna. And Arjuna already participated in so many other battles and defeated them, defeated so many people. And suddenly, in this main battle, Kurukshetra battle, in the climax, if you just say, I will not fight, then what kind of example will people get? So, you should fight. uh, Krishna says, Name parthasi kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana नानवाप्तम अवाप्तव्यम वर्त एव च कर्मणि न मे पार्थासि कर्तव्यम ओ पार्था आई हैव नो कर्तव्यम देयर इज नो वर्क प्रिस्क्राइब्ड फॉर मी आई एम नॉट obliged to do any work trishu lokeshu kinchana in all the three worlds no one can dictate that you have to do this is your duty. Can anyone say like this to Krishna? You have to get up early in the morning. Krishna, you understand? Come and mark your attendance in the register. 4 o'clock, 4:30. In our BT days, we used to have this attendance register. We were supposed to report at 4:20 a.m. If we go late, we'll be given this punishment. Not punishment. We'll be given this award of writing Hare Krishna Mahamantra 54 times during Japa time. So one day I wrote, not one, couple of days I wrote. So because I went late. So there is no one who can dictate Krishna, who can discipline Krishna. There is no prescribed work for Krishna, but still he does all work. Just so that common people will learn from him. Krishna need not do anything, but still Krishna does many things to set an example for common people. So other two slokas follow the same theme. If I don't do my work as a Kshatriya or whatever role I'm playing, if I don't do my work properly, then people will not get the right kind of inspiration. They will quote me as an example and they will do bad things. So this is how Krishna tries to inspire Arjuna to perform Karma Yoga. Although he's much more qualified. He's qualified for Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. He's actually eternal associate of Krishna. He's beyond all these yogas. He's already in connection with Krishna. But still, Krishna is trying to encourage Arjuna to perform this fight. So tomorrow, we will continue this discussion about setting the right example more. And we will also see about lust. While performing yoga, whichever yoga you perform, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, whichever yoga you perform, this bad desires, lusty desires, kama, become an obstacle. How to deal with it? Krishna talks about it tomorrow. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhu.